Take a look at this photo with Donald Trump, Elon Musk, Mike Johnson, and Robert F. Kennedy. Does it scream power, authority, and leadership? Each man progressive in their own virtues. However, it seems to be that there's a common theme amongst these highly respected men, and that is a weakness, perhaps. Or perhaps they just have a strong business relationship with McDonald's Corporation. Or perhaps they have a different agenda. I personally have two hypotheses, and at the end of this video, you can tell me which hypotheses you agree with. So the first hypothesis I have is that these men have a weakness that many of us Americans suffer from. And that is the very addicting French fries from McDonald's that Trump Jr. is holding on his right hand. I personally can admit that those French fries are
damn good and so addicting.
But the other day, I saw a documentary on YouTube under the username of Evil Food Supply, discussing exactly how evil McDonald's French fries is and why they're so addicting. And it may not just be the McDonald's Corporation that has their fries so addicting. It may be other businesses that are sourcing the potatoes from the same places that McDonald's grows their potatoes. Or they may be cooking the potatoes just like McDonald's does. There is a problem with this. According to this documentary, there were several key factors that bopped me over the head and made me feel like I don't ever want to eat McDonald's French fries again.
Well, maybe sometimes when I'm having a craving or my friends are eating it.
But what I mean is that I will try not to ever buy McDonald's French fries again, unless I made it organically sourced from home. They said that the fungicides and herbicides used to grow these potatoes were at dangerous levels. It was needed to make sure that they grow potatoes that were just perfect. Perfect shape, perfect color, perfect without imperfections, just so that they could make the perfect French fries. But here comes the kicker. With a little bit of digging that I did online, I came across a petition on actionnetwork.org that McDonald's has used hazardous herbicides and fungicides that are drift prone, which means that in the state of Minnesota, these herbicides and fungicides get drifted into cities and neighborhoods that are nearby, damaging livestock, crops, and local ecosystems. Not only that, it has caused chronic health problems, such as cancer, nervous system disorders, as well as damage to the reproductive health. The documentary said not even the farmers would go into the field after they collected all of the potatoes because the levels of fungicides and herbicides were at such dangerous levels. They had to stay away from their harvest for a few days so that the fungicides and herbicides can dissipate. They said that the French fries were coated in natural beef flavoring and dextrose before frying. These ingredients are a major concern. Why, you might ask? Frying dextrose increases the calories as well as the carbohydrate in the potato, which makes it a high glycemic index food. Why is this so concerning? High glycemic index foods can cause insulin levels to rise at a rapid rate due to the rapid rate of increase of sugar inside of the body, which ends up exhausting the body system and putting it at risk for diseases like metabolic disorders such as diabetes, high blood pressure, as well as obesity. The natural beef flavoring, which is made from hydrolyzed milk, as well as hydrolyzed wheat, after it is placed on the potato and fried in vegetable oil, it turns into MSG, monosodium glutamate, which is a flavor enhancer that is again to cause obesity, diabetes, high cholesterol, and damage reproductive organs. So you may be wondering, why are our leaders sitting around a table with food items so toxic to the American people? This leads me to my second hypothesis for those who may read in between the lines. As you may know, Donald Trump elected Robert F. Kennedy to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. So what is the Health and Human Services mission? Their mission is to promote advancements in the sciences that support medicine, public health, and social services. The HHS participates in more than 100 programs, and that includes the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, Food and Drug Administration, reproductive health care, health insurance, vaccines, and immunization. So what was Robert F. Kennedy ensuring that he was going to do for our great America? He was going to help ensure that everyone in America would be protected from harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have contributed to our overwhelming health crisis in America. He wanted to restore these agencies to our old traditions of gold standard scientific research, to ensure that the products used in America, our food items, our ingredients are transparent in the way that affects the human body. Not only that, to end the crisis of chronic diseases, which is again heart disease, diabetes, and obesity, and to live up to the standard that he continues to cheer on, that he will make America healthy again. Not only that, President Trump in the recent month has elected Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, a professor of health policy at Stanford University. He wanted him to be the director of the National Institutes of Health. And why is the National Institute of Health so important? It is the organization in charge of our scientific research. It is the organization in charge of releasing publications that are transparent and true in their results, such that it benefits the American people rather than harm the American people, such that it protects the American people rather than shy away from the truth for the American people. Bhattacharya was known for his controversial point of view of the COVID-19 pandemic. He produced a document emphasizing the importance of using herd immunity to protect our economy. He wanted those who were at low risk for dying from the infection to just get infected, and while those who were most vulnerable to be the most protected. In other words, he wanted those who were not at higher risk, those adults with really strong immune systems, to just contract the virus and get back to work to make sure that our economy continues to thrive and not get locked down. While those who were at really high risk, such as the old, the sick, and the vulnerable, to stay indoors, to protect themselves, and to get the frontline treatments in hospitals. Many people argue that this agenda was the wrong agenda to propose. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that those who recovered from the illness should have gone back to work right away to ensure our economy did not fail, to ensure that businesses were not shut down at the time? Because ultimately, everyone had been infected at one point or another. I mean, I have to ask you, do you know anyone in your community that had not been infected with the COVID-19 during the peak times of 2019 up to 2022? So nonetheless, about the nomination, Donald Trump said that Bhattacharya would work closely with Robert F. Kennedy to direct the nation's medical research and to just make important discoveries that would benefit the American people, to make changes to our pre-existing conditions that have failed us, and just to begin to save lives, to make America healthy again. Because the National Institute of Health is the largest public funder of biomedical research. In the past, how has the National Institute of Health allowed for these corporations to release chemicals and pesticides into our community that have been known to affect the human health, that has been known to be banned in the European nations, but somehow legalized and still infiltrating the American people? Okay, so now let's cycle back to the photo. I have to ask you again, are these high-status men who are agreeing to abolish harmful chemicals, pollutants, pesticides, pharmaceutical products, and food additives that have been contributing to the health crisis in America?
Did you know that red food dye is finally going to be banned in the USA? It's been a known problem since the 1980s that red coloring dye has been a known risk for cancer, as well as ADHD in young children. But for some reason, it was still being used in the USA. Not only that, it's been banned in the European nations. Thank God Robert F. Kennedy has finally infiltrated the FDA and is making changes to our health and wellness. I can't believe it's been over 40 years since we've done something about this. We are one step closer to making America healthy again.
Sitting around the table because of my first hypothesis, that they are men who have succumbed to their weakness of McDonald's French fries that taste damn good? Or my second hypothesis, are they creating an illusion for the greatest takedown in history to make America healthy again? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Just don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that more people can be exposed to my theory or hypothesis from a medical provider's perspective, and just for them to have something controversial to watch. Stay healthy, friends of YouTube. Bye!